Number 3, Declan Murray. Number 4, Freeman Forsyth. Number 5, Kate Samia. Number 6, Jackson Gropata. Number 7, Joshua Russell. Number 8, Daniel Reedon. Number 9 for the Parramatta Eels, Bailey Meredith. Number 10, Miles Martin. Wearing jersey number 11. Zadurang Novelli. Number 12, Terence Putlow. Number 13, Hayden Reedon McClintock. Number 14, Adrian Gabbett. Number 15, Saxon Price. Number 16 for the Parramatta Eels, Diego Beckra. Number 17, Amon Sikale. AJ Isis wearing jersey 18. And rounding off the Parramatta Eels, number 19 today, Domenico Distratus. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'd like to remind you that this game is being live streamed across the internet. It's quite easy. Go to crl.com.au.
Welcome to Maury Breen Oval here at Canmore for today's Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cup Country Rugby League representative fixtures about to be underway with the Under-16s Andrew Johns Cup between the Central Coast Roosters and the Parramatta Eels. These two sides fighting for a little bit of pride in this final round fixture with both sides out of the finals race. The Central Coast Roosters side lines up 1, Bo Newlands, 2, Jack Granger, 3, Cade Broadley, 4, Nash Dorrit Maven, 5, Drew James, 6, Fletcher Powell, 7, Max Hong, 8, Marlon Guest, 9, Cooper Corcoran, 10, Joshua Shaw, 11, Dean Edgerton, 13, Ethan Myers, 14, Blake Clapham, 15, Nicholas Shearman, 16, Tomana Henry, 17, Ben Schmidt, and 18, Aaron Antonio. The Eels side, 1, Suliasi Aho, 2, Cooper Sinclair, 3, Declan Murray, 4, Freeman Forsyth, 5, Takasima Huihahau, 6, Jackson Rapata, 7, Joshua Russell, 8, Daniel Reardon, 9, Bailey Meredith. The 10 is Miles Martin, 11, Zadurian Navilli, 11, Terence Patolo, 12 is Terence Patolo, 13 is Hayden Retty McClintock, 14, Adrian Dabbit, 15, Saxon Pryke, 17 is Diego Becerra, and finally Amone Sikahili. As referee Michael Booth gets us underway, and that's Joshua Russell kicking us off, with the Roosters coming left to right on your screen from the northern end of the ground. Very early to set the edict there, referee Booth, with a penalty for a flop against the Eels, and the Roosters look to capitalise here. And that's their winger Drew James finding touch on the 40-metre line. Central Coast side here in the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cups are supported with their development by the Sydney Roosters and the club's affiliation. So great to see the NRL clubs supporting these country rugby league regions. As you see the Roosters head into the attacking half. That's Joshua Shaw, the Entrance Tigers, making some big metres there. They come to the right through Powell. And that's Nash Dorrit Maven. Ethan Myers taking it up there on the last. Halves are set right and left. They come to the right through Powell. He chips through. Well weighted kick. Aho has no trouble picking that one up though and bringing it back from the edge of his own in goal. Cooper Sinclair scooting out to the 10-metre line. The Roosters will be looking to break their duck yet to get a win in this competition as they take on the Eels. They've only chalked one win from their previous 4 encounters. So both sides looking to finish this regular season with a win. We'll see the Eels continue to trundle it out of their defensive half. They go wide here, they've got the numbers. Sinclair tries to get on the outside, has to come back in. And he's lost it there. Probably a little bit unfortunate. Well, there might have been some hands on the ball, but the Roosters have gotten away with that one, and they'll get a scrum feed just inside the attacking half, and we'll see what they can do with some attacking position on the field. Powell feeds it. Corcoran gives it off, but the referee wasn't happy with that scrum, so he calls it back. Go in again. Just trying to have a conversation of logic here with the front row. He seems to be not quite getting where he wants his feet. That one's better. Corcoran gives it off. They go out the back. They find the centre there. That looks like it might be Dorrit Maven, is it? Out wide. Penalty for a shoulder charge against the Parramatta Eels. Discipline already costing the Eels in the early stages of this game. Only just over 3 minutes in. They've already given away a couple of penalties, which certainly isn't going to help their cause throughout the duration of this match. Looks like Ethan Myers, the Tigers junior, coming through. They give it off, and that's Joshua Shaw, another Tigers, but they play on. Head wide. And Newlands. I'm on that Tigers contingent. Fletcher Powell tucks it under his arm, decides to go himself. It's Marlon Guest with the distinctive strapping tape around his head and the longer locks. They find themselves just inside the attacking 20, the Roosters. Inside ball back out to the back to Newlands again. He's got through plenty of work early. There's not much of him in terms of frame, but he's quite tall. He used that loping stride to go at the defence. Grubber in behind, it's well weighted. Aho's going to have his work cut out for him. And he takes it touching goal, and we'll have a goal line drop out from the Parramatta Eels. Rapata getting us back underway there. Ball going 30 on the fly, bouncing awkwardly. Powell picks it up and gives it off to Shaw and carts it forward with a couple of defenders on him. Almost back to the 20-metre line, prime attacking position here. They go short to Myers. He gets the offload away. There's that man Newlands again. He swings it back with a scrappy offload. Corcoran can just pick up. Took it on the bounce awkwardly. They go to Hong. Here goes the cutout ball. That's Aaron Antonio. Late escalation, and he's bundled into touch by a couple of Parramatta defenders there, and Parramatta have done well to defend their own red zone. They'll now be rewarded with a scrum 10 out from their own line, and they'll look to cart the ball out away and hopefully find some attacking position here. Here we go, the Eels on the attack now. Cut out almost to the 20. So Aho taking that one forward. See the fullback gets through a lot of work here. Doesn't mind coming in for plenty of runs. Even though he's not that big a build, he will take it up like another forward. Short ball there. Well played by Russell. Meredith, he goes to the right. Finds Rapata. He gave it off to Reddy McClintock, who's struggling through. Can't quite break the tackle though and succumbs. Russell kicks early. Places it well into the corner. And he finds touch. About 20 out from the line. Both sides just getting into the rest a little bit here, trying to win the territorial battle in the early stages of this Andrew Johns Cup fixture. These fixtures, of course, brought to us by the great sponsors and supporters of this competition. SLU Worldwide Australia are the major sponsor of the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cups. Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream providers bring you the sights and sounds here from Murray Brent Oval at Camwell, Bar TV Sports. As we see Dean Edgerton carting that one forward, those flowing locks stand out from all corners of the ground. Parramatta now drive back the Roosters attack. Drew James out there in the left centre. Really slow play the ball there from the Roosters. That's certainly not going to be helping their cause. This Guest carts it up. Aaron Eagles Jr. Back and they kick from inside 40. Might find Aho on the full here though. That they do. You have plenty of time to run it back, and a bit of slippery footing. It has been quite a drizzly day. Looks like he might have lost that one there, but no, the referee says he's happy with that and they play on. We see Cooper Sinclair pick up a couple of metres quickly. That's Miles Martin with the ball on the 30 now. Struggling to make too many metres here early, Parramatta. The Roosters might be reasonably happy with the start of this game thus far, considering they've got an average score of about 40 to 8 so far across their opening 4 games that they've gone down by. So they've held their opposition scoreless at this point. As we see a deflected kick. That's scooped up by Antonio. And he's hit high. Not too much in it. He gets up. Not too impressed, but that'll be all she wrote there. Referee's taking control of that and nipped that in the bud very early. He's done a great job there. They didn't pick up as many metres there as they wanted to, the Roosters. Only pick up about 10 or 11, and they'll tap it just on the defensive 40. As we see Blake Clapham out here on his home ground, the Wyong Roos Jr. carting it forward. As Hong drops it under to Shaw. He's a big lump of a boy, and he's made some good metres in each of his runs so far, Shaw, once he gets those legs pumping. There's his front row partner, Marlon Guest, carting it up now, taking them up towards the 30, and he continues to drive those legs forward as he's got 2 and 3 players on his back. Out the back, there's Hong again. Out the back, the Parramatta defence are up quickly, and they've forced the turnover there. That's a great job from the Eels defence. And they go on the attack there, try and take on the blind side. And they can't quite get on the outside of the Roosters defence. Bring it back to the middle through a scoot through Hui Hahu. And they're all set to the left here. There's Niverley with the offload. Gives them a few more metres through Miles Martin. They continue to come left. Skipper Daniel Reardon takes it forward. Roosters with plenty of numbers in that tackle. Really focusing on slowing it down. Come left again. Little grubber in behind, but it's read like a book by Bo Newlands. Roosters now faces the task of bringing it out, and they've dropped it. They've spilled it there. Miles Martin picks that one up and takes it inside the attacking 10 metres. Prime position here for the Eels. They go to the right. There's 3 in that tackle, but he's managed to break it. What a great effort there. Hayden Retty McClintock shrugs off a couple of would-be defenders and dives over the line from short range. That opens the scoring. The Parramatta Eels lead 4 points to 0 over the Central Coast Roosters with a kick to come. That's exactly what you want from your middle forwards. They take it into contact, break that first contact, and go on with it from there. And in that sort of range, it always leads to a try. So it's taken us 11.5 minutes. We've got our first points here at Maurie Brent Oval in Camwell. Slippery conditions certainly haven't been helping handling. We've had plenty of rain here this morning and still coming down quite slowly, as you might be able to make out on your screens. Looks like Joshua Russell will be the man to take what should be a relatively simple conversion attempt. He's taking it back about 14 metres just to the outside on the left-hand side of the goalpost. Step back, comes in, strikes it well, pushed it across to the right, but gets it across, and that extends Parramatta's lead early here to 6 points to 0 over the Central Coast Roosters. And the Roosters will come back down and kick the ball back to the Eels. Another chance to thank the great sponsors that make this competition possible, and they are SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream providers today bring you all the sights and sounds, Bar TV Sports, as the Roosters get us back underway. And there's Miles Martin carting it forward. That's probably touch and go on that one, whether or not I thought it was a penalty, but the referees are right on the spot. So they've taken him above the horizontal and put him into a dangerous position. So one of the Roosters players might be in a little bit of trouble here. He might have hurt his shoulder. So Parramatta will look to capitalise on the back of this penalty and post consecutive tries. They will have their tails right up here. A pretty decent crowd in here at Maurie Brent Oval, and might pick up some background noise. There's some other games going on the outside fields, local trial matches. Now, of course, watching the Andrew Johns Cup Country Rugby League representative competition. It's been a great development, this competition, to give these juniors the opportunity to continue to push their rugby league career pathways without having to leave home and head to Sydney to play Harold Matson SG balls with the NRL clubs. As we see the Eels find touch on the defensive 40-metre line. And Declan Murray takes a tap and decides he'll go himself and picks up about 13 metres in doing so. Meredith gives that off to Patolo. Probably one of the leading lights across their season so far. And as I say that, the commentator's curse strikes and he can't hang on to it as he tries to play it. He's not really happy with that and gives the referee some thoughts. I'm yet to see a player give the referee some feedback and have him change his mind, so it'll be a Roosters scrum. Central Coast really need to capitalise here. Parramatta starting to get their tails up and gain some momentum after that first try. Decent field position here with the ball on the defensive 40 and an opportunity to push into the attacking half very early in the set. They go to Hong. He goes to Drew James, wearing the 5, but playing in left centre. There's Hong again. The unmistakable flowing locks of Edgerton. He carts it up and takes it just over the halfway line. Tackle 2. Come back to the right through one of the replacement forwards, Shearman. A very heavily Erina Eagles flavour to the bench today. Majority of the players on the bench are Erina Eagles players. They swing it wide to the right. Dorrit Maven steps back in. Almost brought to ground, but couldn't be. Miles Martin in cover defence. He's been everywhere so far today. There's that man Shearman again. That'll be tackle 5. They're 18 out from the line, just outside the post. See what they can muster here as they go to Hong. He kicks high and doesn't pick up much ground. And the Eels are happy to let the Roosters take that catch and will tackle them and take possession. 11 out from their own line and work it out of their defensive end. Certainly hasn't been anything too flashy. probably smart in these conditions so far. The ball will be a bit greasy, as is the deck. We've seen a few players lose their footing so far. You expect the Eels to do more of the same here. Let's continue to play simple stuff. One off the ruck. It's working quite effectively for them. Good footwork. Although it could have been a knock on there, and it is from Joshua Russell. As soon as they try to start playing a little bit too flashy, they just can't quite reel those in. We'll now see Fletcher Powell, the entrance contingent that we were talking about earlier, feed the scrum, and they'll go to Hong again. There he is, the long flowing locks of Dean Edgerton carting the ball forward, the sole Blue Haven representative in this Central Coast Roosters side. Go out wide here, Antonio. He's only small, but he has a red hot crack when he takes it into contact. Hong off to the front row of Shaw. Again, those close contact meters from Shaw really helping the cause of the Roosters. You expect, it looks like he's going to come off after that. He's had a good opening stint. Nice little kick in behind here. It's well weighted, but doesn't quite force the Eels back into the in goal, and Sinclair happy just to surrender and take the tackle there. Aho couldn't quite pick that one up. It looks sloppy. The referee's seen it that way too. And the Roosters now absolutely prime piece of attacking real estate they find themselves in here with a full set of 6 with this scrum on the 10-metre line. So again, we'll see Fletcher Powell feed it. Expect Corcoran will deliver it from the base of the scrum. He does the Hong. And again, the short ball, that goes to Edgerton. He's met and driven backwards. They come to the right. Shearman, he's put his hand up for plenty of work since he's been on there. He's only been on there a few minutes and got through a few hit-ups already. They go back to the left, there's Hong. Back inside Newlands. And he's just pushed himself over. He had one tackler on him, but the others didn't want to get involved, and Newlands dives over next to the post to break the Central Coast scoring drought, and that brings us to 6 points to 4. Parramatta now lead with a kick to come for the Roosters to level it up. And it was almost identical to the Eels' early try, and you'd expect to see Jack Granger, the Terrigal Sharks Junior, dab this one over and make us all level. With 11 and a half or so to go in this first half. Not too much separating them. It's just going to be errors and discipline that might be the telling factor in this game. We touched on before, both sides playing very simple footy, and when they stick to that, it's working pretty well. Silly little mistakes and a few bits of ill discipline have given away some territory. The Roosters need to probably capitalise on this momentum from this try and start to get a bit of a roll on. Again, you're tuning into Country Rugby League representative fixture, the Andrew Johns Cup Under-16s match between the Central Coast Roosters and the Parramatta Eels, live from Morrie Breen Oval at Camwell. Thanks to our live stream providers, Bar TV Sports, Anytime Fitness, and SLE Worldwide Australia. And Granger makes no mistake with that conversion attempt, and that brings us all level at 6-all with about 11 minutes to go in this first half of this under-16s fixture. The Roosters will now have the task of bringing it out of their own half. It'll be Josh Russell to bring us back underway with the restart. Finds the grass there. Antonio picks it up on the bounce and he gives it off to Shearman. They've turned it over early. That is not what they would have wanted on the back of scoring. He busts through about 4 or 5 tackles there. Can he make it through to the line? He can't. All like Hui Hahau. They come to the left. Hayden ready McClintock. He shrugged off a few for the first. Can he do it again? He's brought down. Around the ankles is Corcoran. Take it back to the middle. That's Reardon, the skipper. Oh, he carries 3 over and he's got across the line. Poor defence there from the Roosters, but the Eels, they hit straight back. Take the lead. Parramatta Eels 10, Central Coast Roosters 6. And that was far too easy. Goal line defence has not been strong from either side so far today. And each of the tries we've seen, there have been defensive players in place with an opportunity to stop them, but it just seems like a lack of desire or intent. The players just slipping their way over. And as I said, that sees the Eels extend their lead out to 4 points with a kick to come.
Number 8, Daniel Reardon.
So the Eels make a couple of changes there. That's their first changes. After about 26 minutes. And Russell makes no mistake there. Extends the lead out. Parramatta Eels 12. Leading the Central Coast Roosters 6 here at Morayburn Oval in Canmore. Rain looks like it might have finally eased off for a little. Might be a bit of an opportunity for a bit closer to the standard dry weather footy we might like to see in these junior representative fixtures. See Granger set up and he'll bring us back underway. And he does. Oh, great catch there by Rapata. He gives it off to, looks like Aho, who's decided to go around the defence and then picks up plenty of metres in doing so. Come back and that looks like it could be Navilli possibly with the ball in hand. It's quite hard to make out some of the numbers on these jerseys. Eels continue to cut this one up, almost to the halfway line. There's Reddy McClintock, one of the early try scorers, and he makes big metres, picks up nearly 15, takes him to the attacking 40. Back to the right, Russell looks a kick. Easily dealt with by Newlands. And he picks up a penalty for his efforts. Says in front of the kicker there. So it looks like that might have been, but I thought it might have been my angle here. Referee again right on the spot. The referee's doing a great job so far. Referee Booth taking control of this one, Michael Booth. And again we see Dean Edgerton wind up. He's met strongly by the defence and thrown to ground. There's a questionable pass there from Hong to Shearman, and the referee's been given the tip from his touch judge. Again, crucial error by the Roosters, handing Parramatta attacking position here, about 42 out from their try line. It'd be interesting to see if the Eels can capitalise on this, or whether the Roosters might actually add a bit more starch to that defensive line this time around and hold them out. See Rapata feeds it. Meredith, he gives it off for Reddy McClintock. He's been the standout for Parramatta so far, Reddy McClintock. Meredith picks up the markers and napping. Takes a nice little scoot out. They come left through Russell. He drops it back under to Murray. He loses his footing. He's met heavily by the Roosters defence. Meredith to Rapata. Navilli. Gets very close to the line. Can't quite get over. Rapata tries to scoot out and he's lost that one. Bit of white line fever strikes there for Parramatta. They've seen how easy it's been the last 2 times they've come down here and couldn't quite capitalise. Couple of players down here might require some attention. As we tick down just under 5 minutes remaining in the first stanza of this Andrew Johns Cup fixture here at a grey Morayburn Oval. Again, today's broadcast brought to us by our major sponsor, SLE Worldwide Australia, sporting partner Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream provider, Bar TV Sports. They're bringing you all the sights and sounds from Canmore today. Looks like it'll be the halfback, Kincumber Colts player Max Hong, getting a bit of treatment or attention from the trainers. Hopefully all's well and he can resume his duties at the scrum base. And it looks like that's the case. He won't be forced to come from the field, which is always good to see. We'll be back underway momentarily as Hong feeds the scrum. A few more final instructions from referee booth. Driving tackle from the Eels there, and it's forced the error. He's protesting there. It looks like Blake Clapham protesting. He doesn't think he's dropped it. Well, we talked about earlier, I haven't seen a referee change his decision because of player feedback yet. I'm going to back this refereeing or officiating trio. They've been doing a great job so far in the opening 30 odd minutes of this game. And now we'll see Jackson Rapata feeding the scrum for Parramatta once we can get everyone's heads in there. There we go. Ball in. Meredith goes to Russell, who decides to run it himself. Slips around the back of a player but doesn't obstruct anyone. His halfback's almost barged over here. He's been pulled down short, only about 2 metres out once he's been pushed back. Meredith. He goes to Retty McClintock, tries to use some magic footwork but can't find his way out of there. Meredith again. He gives the ball there. That's Diego Becerra. Not doing anything too fancy just yet. Looks like they might go out the back here on the right to Rapata. That they do. He decides to go himself. He reaches out. He gets it down just to the right of the goalposts. And that'll extend Parramatta Eels' lead out to 16 points to 6 with a kick to come. Just held himself up a little bit there, Rapata. Spotted the opening, decided to dive through, and they just couldn't reel him in as he reached out and planted that one down to further extend the blue and gold's lead. Right next to the uprights there, and you'd expect that Joshua Russell will make this one 3 from 3 conversion attempts and extend their lead out to 12 points in the shadows of half time. Just under 3 minutes to go. Again, just another set of, shall we say, below par goal line defence, unfortunately. Both sides seeming to struggle once the other team gets inside their red zone, just with sticking tackles and getting in front of their man. And sure enough, Russell makes no mistake. So the Parramatta Eels will lead this one 18 points to 6 over the Central Coast Roosters, with approximately 2 minutes remaining in this first half of this Andrew Johns Cup under-16s fixture in the Country Rugby League representative competition. As we touched on before the match, these two sides, probably not the seasons they would have wanted. The Roosters yet to chalk a win in this competition, this being the final round, and Parramatta with only the 1 win and a draw so far from their 4 fixtures. As we see Saxon Pryke take that kick-off, and he's dumped onto his back in a strong tackle there from Dorrit, Maven and Powell. Roosters looking to get a bit of sting in their defence now, it looks like. And they're making sure they don't miss now. Getting a bit more aggression and intent in their defence. Great set of defence, this one. Might come a little bit late after they've let in 3 soft tries inside their red zone. Rapata chips, he goes the short kick. Can he regather? He can. Throws a pass. I think that was forward anyway. But it's been reeled in by Drew James. Playing in the 5 jersey, but playing left centre. Now we see Bo Newlands, the fullback. So that big loping step. He goes across field. Hong in at dummy half. He goes Antonio. Built like a hooker, but he carts it up like a front rower, Antonio. Now we see Nicholas Shearman pumping those legs, trying to get forward, but he can't win the battle, finds himself on his back. As the clock counts down into the final moments of this first half. And Suliasi Aho, the one for Parramatta, has no trouble with retrieving that kick. Meredith gives it off to Hui Hahau. Now Cooper Sinclair getting in there, taking a bit of work from the forwards. Has a bit of a scoot. Picks up plenty of metres. Can he slip the tackle? He can't quite. He's picked up about 15 metres there, though. Keep coming to the left here through Rapata. He goes out the back. That's Reddy McClintock. He's carrying a few defenders. He breaks the first tackle. Gets the offload to Russell. What can he do here? Dances across field. The Roosters players appeal for an obstruction, and the referee's seen it that same way. And the Roosters will have one final opportunity here. Looks like Rapata down in back play here, getting some treatment to his wrist. Heard the half-time hooter go in the background, so this will be the final play of the half. Looks like they'll look to kick to touch and then take their final play. It's a wobbly kick to touch there from Drew James's boot, but it finds touch about 35 out from their own line. And I'll have one play here before half time, if we can find a football. There we go. Parramatta shut down what looked like a possible offload there, and that'll be half time. Parramatta Eels go into the sheds leading 18 points to 6 over the Central Coast Roosters in the Andrew Johns Cup fixture here at Morrie Breen Oval. We'll take a short break and we'll rejoin you for the second half of this Andrew Johns Cup fixture in a few minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if there's any player managers in attendance today, could you kindly make your way up to the ground announcer's box? 3-minute warning for both sides.
Eels players back on the field here as we rejoin you for the second half of this Andrew Johns Cup fixture. As we went to the break, the Parramatta Eels under 16s lead 18 points to 6 over the Central Coast Roosters in this Country Rugby League representative fixture from Canmore, as we see the Central Coast Roosters in their white with blue and red V's take the field from the northeastern corner. I'll be getting ready to get us back underway for this second half. Get organised to work out who's going to be their kicker here. Looks like that man who's been doing the kicking duties for them thus far, Jack Granger. The Roosters will be looking for a reinvigorated start to this second half. As I said, they trail 18 points to 6 to the Eels, but they're also yet to break their duck in this competition. So this will be the final 35 minutes of the season for these two teams. There's plenty of pride on the line as the Roosters waiting for a tee, and it looks like one of the Parramatta Eels players had to go and get them one, so I'm not sure what's happened there. That's a nice little bit of sportsmanship though. You're probably keen just to get back underway and not stand around on what's a cool and grey day here at Morrie Brown Oval in Canmore. This match will be followed directly by the Laurie Daley under-18s fixture as Granger gets us back underway. And that's Becerra carting that forward with some intent across the 20-metre line. Good tackle effected there by Shearman from the Roosters. There's the man of the moment for the Eels. That's Reddy McClintock. Dangerous every time he runs the ball. Generally beats the first defender. Meredith in at half. He goes to Rapata at the back. And the Eels pick up an early penalty. This time there was a hand on the ball from the marker, just slowing that one down unnecessarily. And Joshua Russell, he'll kick for touch. His boot's been solid today for the Eels with 3 from 3 conversion attempts. And Freeman Forsyth taps it, goes himself, takes it all the way to the 30-metre line. The Eels go on the attack here. It's Sikahili with the ball now. He struggles to try and get up for a quick play of the ball. He can't quite. And come back to the blind side through Rapata. He tries to drop it underneath for Navilli, but he drops it. And we've got a penalty here for offside. Another penalty. That's cruel for the Roosters. They need to really work on their discipline. Looks like Rapata might just kick for touch. I'm not sure what they're going to achieve from that. They might take it 4 metres to the right if he kicks it straight across field here, which doesn't really serve any purpose. But anyway, he's gone back 2 metres as well. As again we see Forsyth, he taps it and goes himself, bumps off the first, succumbs to the tackle of the next two. They go to the left. Reddy McClintock tries to barge his way through, but he can't quite. They go to Rapata. He goes to Russell. Decides to go himself. Can he slip through? Newlands wraps up the ball. And they bring him down 1.5 metres short of the line. Go to the left again. We've got Rapata. He kicks early in the tackle count. And unfortunately, Cooper Sinclair can't quite dive on that one. He takes it dead. And we'll bring it back out to the 20 metres for an optional restart for the Central Coast Roosters. And they will breathe a large sigh of relief there, the Roosters. Newlands takes the first one. Taps it and goes himself. That'll be 0. They go back to the middle. Turns out to be a scoot. Shearman was there ready to take it. Hong gets into dummy half. Now Shearman will Wind up. He's been strong off the bench, Shearman. Almost gets the arm free for Newlands there. Come to the left there, that's Edgerton. Long hair really stands out. Blue Haven Raiders Junior. There's Shearman again, rolling up the sleeves. He's happy to get through some work, he is. Strong shot on him though. Put the kick high into this left corner. Aho. Safe under that one. Got a penalty for back chat there. Referee happy for him to take the tap. Ankle tap from Shearman. Again, he's been the go-to man for the Roosters at the start of this second half. Props making cover defence tackles, it's what we like to see, and he's involved in another tackle there. He's getting through lots of work. As we see Navilli card it forward to the attacking 40. They're set here with plenty of depth on the left, Parramatta. Meredith. He goes to Rapata, who kicks. The Roosters have batted it back a couple of times, but the Eels have come up with it, and they'll get another set of 6 here, you'd expect. That'll be tackle 1. As Meredith scoots out, tries to barge over, pulled down inches short. Ready, McClintock dives over from dummy half for his second, and further extends the Parramatta Eels lead. They take it out to 22 points to 6, the Eels leading over the Central Coast Roosters with a kick to come. And that was just, again, far too easy from short range for the boys in blue and gold. Reddy McClintock with his second try. He's been the pick of the players so far for the Eels. He's got through plenty of work. And he was in support there, but couldn't quite get there in time. And instead finds himself just almost falling over from dummy half to score another try for the Eels. As we see Russell lining up for what's probably his most difficult attempt at conversion for the day thus far. It's probably about 8 metres to his left of the post. And he's taking it back again about 14 metres as he has with each of his kicks so far today. He's 3 from 3 so far. As we see the Eels inject their utility from the bench, Adrian Dabbit. He'll come onto the field now. Russell makes no mistake again, takes it to 4 from 4 and extends the Parramatta Eels lead out to 24 points to 6 over the Central Coast Roosters. Again, you're tuning in here at Maury Breen Oval, Camwell for this fixture in the Andrew Johns Under-16s Country Championships. Sorry, Country Rugby League representative fixtures between the Roosters and the Central Coast Roosters and the Parramatta Eels. Competition is brought to you by our sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness and Bar TV Sports. As Jack Granger gets us back underway. And we see Diego Becerra wind up. He beats the first couple of tackles and carts it over the 20-metre line. The man we just touched on, Dabbit, goes into half. And they continue to march forward, Parramatta, through Declan Murray, almost to the 40-metre line. Tackle 2. Making easy metres here. And another penalty. Just adding insult to injury for the Central Coast Roosters. They can't take a trick at the moment. And he just strolls straight through. Joshua Russell, he'll go under the post untouched. Add to his 4 conversions with a try. And the Central Coast Roosters are falling apart before our eyes as Parramatta extend their lead out to 28 points to 6 with a kick to come. That kick will be from right in front from our try scorer, Joshua Russell. He was alert to it. He saw the referee was set. He asked if he could take the quick tap. He did. Sliced through the line. And then it was open space in front of him for Russell. And he extends Parramatta's lead out to 22 points with a conversion attempt to come. And that conversion attempt could take his personal haul to 14 points for this afternoon's fixture. Twice now that Parramatta have taken the opportunity of the quick restart when they've been awarded a penalty. Central Coast just sort of turn on their heels with each of those penalties and have been asleep to it. As we see Russell convert his own try and extend the lead out to 30 points to 6, the Parramatta Eels over the Central Coast Roosters here in this Andrew Johns Cup fixture. About 22 minutes remaining in the second half.
Conversion was successful. Number 7, Joshua Russell.
Roosters are going to have to find something very quickly here if they're to get their way back into this game and avoid it following a very similar storyline to the majority of their first 4 encounters in this competition. As Granger gets us underway again, it's taken by Rapata, and again, Becerra winds up and carts it out. Over the 20, almost to the 30. He keeps pumping those legs. They just keep rolling up the sleeves and working hard here, the Eels. They've got plenty of forwards putting their hand up for work, and that's Saxon Pright that takes it to the 40. And we've got Declan Murray coming in from the left centre for a run, taking it over halfway. Dabbit at 9. He gives it off to Reddy McClintock. He tries to get the arm free, but has no luck. He's taking it to the 40. Go at the back to Rapata. He goes short. That's Navilli. Maybe tackle 4. They've picked up 50 metres already. Sorry, tackle 5 it is. Rapata. He goes high. End over end. Oh, Sinclair tries to take it, but he's knocked it on. He got up high. Wouldn't look out of place on an AFL field. Cooper Sinclair with that leap. It's almost on the shoulders of the opposition player. Couldn't quite reel it in. And we'll have a changeover on the 10-metre line for a play the ball here for the Central Coast Roosters. As the Parramatta Eels lead 30 points to 6 with 20 minutes remaining here. Fortunately for the Roosters, another player down in back play, and he'll receive some treatment. Roosters here on their 10-metre line once play resumes. Have a lot of work to get down the other end. They really need to be the next team to score if they hold any sort of hope of remaining in this contest. And they have their work cut out for them though, as they require 4 converted tries just to get level. Looks like it'll be Jack Granger to play the ball. Cooper Corcoran gives it off. Looks like Joshua Shaw there back on the field. I apologise, that wasn't Shaw. Might have been Schmidt actually. As the Roosters get a much needed penalty, they need to take this opportunity to get out of their own defensive half. Drew James to kick for touch. And he finds touch on the 40-metre line. Corcoran to tap it. He gives it to Schmidt. He's almost cut in half by that tackle there from the Eels. There's Taimana Henry carting it over halfway. Another error in an Eagles contingent. That's Marlon Guest. Takes it over the 40. They find themselves in some attacking position at last. It's been a long time between drinks in this end of the field for the Roosters, sorry. As they send Cade Broadley on a short ball. And another penalty. A lot of penalties. Corcoran takes a quick tap. Goes himself. Tries to run over Dabbit, but can't do so. Inside the 20 now, the Roosters. They go to Shim, and he's been keen for plenty of work, and he takes it inside the attacking 10. Set to the right. Call the props back to the left. Henry tries to wind up. Can't quite get going, though, and he's brought to ground. They go at the back to Hong. Fence up quickly there. Broadly feels that. Dorrit Mavin tries to get the arm loose, and Looks like he has, and it's been touched, so they've got another 6 here. Newland's on the attack. They set left, plenty of depth. Can't get a quick play of the ball though. Corcoran's tried to scoot out of dummy half and he spilled it. There's a little bit of feeling coming into this one. Newland's pushing and shoving. A few players starting to run in. Looks like referee Michael Booth's taking quick control and nipped that one in the bud though. Great work by the referee. And we'll have a scrum here. 10 out from their defensive try line to the Parramatta Eels. Parramatta Eels currently leading this one quite comfortably at 30 points to 6. About 16 and a half minutes remaining. We'll see the Eels look to work this one out from their own end. Of course, today's Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cup fixtures are brought to us by the competition sponsors SLE Worldwide Australia, who are the major sponsor, Anytime Fitness, and of course your live stream provider, Bar TV Sports. Bringing you the sights and sounds here from Maury Breen Oval at Camwell for these under 16s and 18s country representative fixtures between the Parramatta Eels and the Central Coast Roosters. The Eels bring it out. Dabbit gives it to Rapata. And he said, referee Booth said Dabbitt's made a mess of that as he's tried to pick it up, and the scrum's now going to go to the Central Coast Roosters. And the Roosters with some magnificent attacking opportunity here. 10 out from the line. See what they can do. See if they can get back into this contest. Looks like it'll be Fletcher Powell to feed the scrum. Options both sides here for the half hong. We see Newland sweep around him. He beats the first tackle. Gives it off. And it's touched there in flight. Drew James grabs hold of it though and takes it forward to the 10-metre line. See, that's Ethan Myers storming onto that ball. And he's managed to get it onto the chalk. He's just picked up the edge of the chalk. And that'll see the Roosters get back into this one. They take their score on to 10 points with a kick to come. Parramatta Eels still on 30, so still plenty of work to be done. But he came from the back fence, Ethan Myers, and he storms over to dot that one on the white chalk and keep the faint hopes of the Central Coast Roosters alive. Now the job of Jack Granger. Try and convert this one from about 16 in from touch. On this western side of Maury Breen Oval. Regularly the home ground of the Warangaroos in the Central Coast competition, formerly in the New South Wales Cup. It's a great facility here, and we've got a pretty solid crowd in as well for these fixtures. We have some earlier representative country fixtures in the 23s and women's between the home side, the Central Coast Roosters, and the Monaro Colts. Monaro winners in it. Thrilling finish in the under-23s fixture. But Granger, he can't bring that one back around. He pushes it left, and the score remains Parramatta Eels 30, leading the Central Coast Roosters 10. And the Roosters with all the work to do from here as the clock ticks down to just over 13 minutes remaining here. I think it's probably going to be a little bit too much for the Roosters from this point. And then another 4 tries from here in the last 13 or so minutes of this game. One taken by Cade Broadley, and he carts it forward to the 30. They go to Hong. He gives it off to Shaw. Keeps pumping those legs, picks up some extra metres, gets to about 43 out from their line. There's the try scorer, that's Ethan Myers. He's turned it over. Parramatta now on the attack, 40 out from the line. An interesting tactical change here from the Eels in the meantime as they bring off a winger and put on a prop. That'll probably force a bit of a reshuffle, one would think. They go to the left here. Russell trying to take it on himself, the half. At 25 out now, Dabbit. He goes to Reddy McClintock. He gives it off to Miles Martin. tackled on the 20. Players set both edges here. Out the back to Rapata. Here goes the short ball. That's Patolo. Great tackle there, one-on-one by Newlands. And we see Freeman Forsyth dancing through, but can't quite get it down. Fortunately, he's felled by a high tackle. He wants to take the quick one, but he won't be able to take the quick tap inside the red zone. Probably not too much in that tackle. It was a little bit high. Russell taps it, gives it to the skipper. It's Daniel Reardon. Plenty of numbers in the tackle there from the Roosters. Set to the left, Russell. Reddy McClintock, he's looking for a third. And he's going to barge through. And he gets it down. There's his hat trick. Reddy McClintock, easy as you like. Dives over just to the right of the post for his hat trick, and that extends Parramatta Eels' lead out to 34 points to 10 with a kick to come. And you'd think that'd be all she wrote. Clock ticks down to 11 minutes here, and they've got a 24-point lead with a kick to come. It's going to be too much work here for the Roosters to come back. And Parramatta will take their second win of the competition once that final hooter blows. I'm sure they'll be looking for some more points before that occurs, though, as Russell lines up for his 6th conversion attempt of the day. Again, today's Country Rugby League representative fixtures, the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cup, brought to you by the sponsors, the major sponsor, SLE Worldwide Australia, supporting sponsor, Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream provider, Bart TV Sports. As Russell just dabs that one just across the crossbar and extends the Parramatta Eels lead out to 36 points to 10 over the Central Coast Roosters in this under-16s Andrew Johns Cup fixture. Not too much left to play for here for the Roosters, but I'm sure they'll be looking to finish this one off with a little bit of pride in their jumper. They're going to go through the whole season without a win, unfortunately, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind getting across for another try or two before that final hooter blows in about 10 minutes' time. See a bit of a juggle there from the Eels, and they cart it back to the 20-metre line. Abbott. Looks like Hui Hahau coming in for some work. He's a big-bodied winger. Miles Martin carts it up. He's met strongly by the starting props, Guest and Shaw. The back Rapata. Drops it under. Keeps on pumping. That's the hat-trick man, Hayden Reddy McClintock. He's been absolutely the pick today for the Eels. And he earns his team a penalty too. Too slow in the ruck. Unfortunately there for Cooper Corcoran. He's pinged by the referee. And Josh Russell finds touch. About 13 out from the line, and you'd be a brave man to back against the Eels scoring here again. As Freeman Forsyth winds up. Steps back to the outside, but can't quite break free of the tackle of Newlands and Broadley. Go left, Miles Martin. He's met strongly. There was no space there. Tries to reach out, but can't quite get it down. Dabbit. He gives it to Rapata. He's thrown it to no one. Oh, the Roosters almost dived on that. But Declan Murray just beat them to the punch. As he winds up now. Goes into some strong contact with Shaw. Zero tackle. It was touch. Freeman Forsyth cutting back inside. He beats the first one. Gives it off to Declan Murray. He's skipping back across field. Beats a tackle of his opposite number. The Roosters get plenty into this one. Play the ball. That's the 8, the skipper Reardon, but he'll be held up. He's looking to just stroll through, but couldn't quite beat the tackle of the Roosters defenders. I'll take it back to the 10-metre line here and play it. Options both sides. Got a player being blood-binned here for the Eels. I'm not sure what the stoppage was for, but looks like he's got a bit of claret coming from the head. Fair bit of blood there, actually. He'll probably need to come off and possibly even change the jersey. Might be the end of his day. Is that man again? Reddy McClintock. He gives it off to Freeman Forsyth. 2 in his tackle, but he reaches out, slams the ball down for another try for the Parramatta Eels, and they'll continue to extend their lead. That takes them out to 40 points to 10. They lead over the Central Coast Roosters with another kick to come. And of course, who else would you expect to give the pass for that try but the standout so far for the Parramatta Eels, Hayden Reddy McClintock. He's had an absolute belter of a day with 3 tries and now a try assist. And now we'll get to see Joshua Russell with his most difficult attempt of the day from about 12 in from touch here on the western side of Murray Breen Oval. See if he can keep his perfect record for today intact. Already 6 from 6 and a try on his personal tally. See if he can extend that out to a personal tally of 18 points. We see the sky clearing a little. Still a little bit grey overhead, but no real rain about here in Camwell. Hopefully we'll get a dry track for what promises to be a cracking fixture in the under-18s. Both sides chasing an opportunity to play in the semi-finals in a fortnight's time. As we see, Russell starts it out to the right. Unfortunately, the breeze brings it back a little too far for to the left, and that's his first blemish of the day. And the Parramatta Eels maintain their lead 40 points to 10 over the Central Coast Roosters in this Andrew Johns Cup fixture with about 5.5 minutes remaining.
Parramatta 40, Central Coast 6 up 10.
As we were saying before, this game will be followed immediately by the under-18s Laurie Daley Cup fixture between these same two sides, the Parramatta Eels and the home side, the Central Coast Roosters, as Jack Granger gets us back underway. And again, Diego Becerra carts it back over the 20-metre line. He's had plenty of work bringing the kickoffs back, but most of their attacks been through this right edge. You see Reddy McClintock breaking a couple of tackles before he's brought to ground. Can't sing enough of his praises today. Rapata gives it out the back. It's Aho. Gives it to the winger. That's Hui Hahau. Forsyth. He gives it on. That's Patolo. There's that man that brought the kickoff back, Becerra. He keeps marching forward, takes it almost to the 20-metre line. Made nearly 80 metres on this set. They go to the left. There's the last tackle. Interesting option to scoot there from Adrian Dabbit. But they'll turn over the ball in not a bad spot, about 12 out from the try line. The Roosters will have to take this one nearly 90 metres if they want to score and get themselves some consolation points in this Andrew Johns Cup fixture. About 4 minutes remaining here at Camwell, Murray Breen Oval. As we see Aaron Antonio cart the ball forward. And the Eels penalised for a high shot. Antonio's been red hot today. He's carted up like he's probably about 50 kilos bigger than he is. As we see a one-on-one strip there, no. Referee said there was 2 in the tackle. Probably a little bit unlucky there, Miles Martin. The Roosters seem to be a little bit confused about what they want to do. They took a tap on the last one. They kick for touch this time. Find touch on the halfway line from the boot of Drew James in the 5-jumper. And now Cooper Corcoran will have to come across to the sideline to find a ball. To resume play. Gives it off to Hong. Will take the tap now. That's Cade Broadley with the ball. He's got in for plenty of work today when his forwards have tired. Hong, he gives it off to Shaw. Again, picks up an extra few metres after contact. He's done really well today, picking up those post-contact metres. Another penalty there. The skipper there for Parramatta, Daniel Reardon, just needed to find the quickest way out of that ruck, but he decided he wanted to climb back over short. And rightly so, referee Michael Booth awards a penalty. There's that man again, Shaw. Again, another few metres after contact. Finds his front. Gets a good play of the ball. Corcoran. He goes to Myers. Goes out the back. There's Newlands, the fullback. Not sure what he was trying to do there. Looks like he's trying to play tunnel ball, and he's turned it over. And the man of the moment, Reddy McClintock, he gives it off. The skipper Reardon. He keeps trying to pump the legs. There's 4 Roosters in the tackle there. Now Reardon's holding on to the Roosters player. Again, referee Booth gets it 100% right, sends him back to play it. Becerra. He's got a pretty simple game plan. He just carts it forward hard and straight. Nabbit to Rapata. Back inside to Miles Martin, who's trailing in support. They come here, Rapata. Don't think that Reddy McClintock was expecting that one. I thought he might have knocked that forward into the Roosters player, but gets away with it. Martin again cleans up the scraps. They kick through, Nabbit. Not sure whether he's onside or not. Murray there. No. Referee's pinged him there. Yeah, he looked like he was a good couple of steps in front. And again, referee Michael Booth with the call. Said earlier on today, they've done a great job officiating this fixture today. Controlled it when it's got a little bit heated. And got most of the decisions that they needed to right, the crucial ones. A really good standard of officiating across this competition in 2019, which has been great to see. It's nice when we talk about the referees in a positive light. As we see Ben Schmidt take it up towards halfway. Plenty of numbers in the tackle for the Eels. Yeah, just over 30 seconds remaining. We see Ethan Myers take it across halfway for the Roosters. A couple more tackles here to try and add to their score. There's that man again, Ben Schmidt, getting through a little bit of late work. He gets an offload away. No, he has, but he's thrown it forward. And the clock ticks down to about 15 seconds. Probably won't even have time for this scrum. Can't imagine the Roosters are going to want to rush in there. And I'd say that'll be all she wrote. It'll be Parramatta Eels running away winners 40 points to 10 in this fixture. Andrew Johns Cup. They'll finish their season with a win, and it's exactly how it finishes as referee Michael Booth blows full time. Might not have been the prettiest encounter, but there's been plenty of points, and the Eels have done a great job to walk away comfortable winners 40 points to 10 over the Central Coast Roosters in this Andrew Johns Cup Country Rugby League fixture. Again, thank you to our sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness and Bar TV Sports. We'll take a short break and we'll rejoin you in a couple of moments with the under-18s Laurie Daley Cup fixture between the Parramatta Eels and the Central Coast Roosters.
Parramatta and the Central Coast, reminder, you're under 3-minute warning. Next game to get underway. Central Coast Roosters and the Parramatta Eels competing for the Laurie Daley Cup. Representing the Central Coast Roosters, number 1, Riley Stevenson. Number 2, Kane Jacobs. Number 3, Cody Boyle. Number 4, Caden Rosemeyer. Number 5, Lachlan Fisher. Number 6, Regan Harris. Number 7, Lachlan D. Bliss. Number 8, Bray Bean. Number 9, Isaac Blackhall. Number 10, Regan Clark. Wearing jersey 11 for the Roosters, Gardy Elton. Number 12, Kyle McLean. Number 13, Nathan Peg King. Wearing jersey number 14, Sulu Avasi Hakalo. Number 15, Brock Labour. Number 16, Adam Runchell. Number 17, Clint Norris. and wearing jersey number 18 for the Central Coast Roosters, Logan Sipple. Representing the Parramatta Eels, number 1, Nigaroo Harte. Number 2, Joshua Hayes. Number 3, Connor Griffith.
Welcome back to Murray Breen Oval here at Canmore for the Laurie Daley Cup fixture. I'm Chris McPherson. I'll be commentating today's fixture for you, and we might start off with the team list. The home side, the Central Coast Roosters, for this Laurie Daley Cup fixture. 1, Riley Stevenson. 2, Tane Jacob. 3, Cody Boyle. 4, Caden Rosemeyer. 5, Lachlan Fisher. 6, Regan Harris. 7, Lachlan DeBellis. 8, Bray Verheyen. 9, Isaac Blackall. 10, Regan Clark. 11, and the skipper is Darby Elton. 12, Kyle McLean. 13, Nathan Keg King. 14, Sullivanusi Hakalo. 15, Brock Laver. 16, Adam Runchell. 17, Clint Norris. And 18, Logan Sipple. For the Parramatta Eels, 1 is Garamu Harte. 2, Joshua Hay. 3, Connor Griffiths. 4, Christian Pasatoa. 5, Braithen Vaughan Aspen. 6 is Drew Lloyd. The halfback is Gianfranco Grima. 8, Jai Vakai. 9, Cameron Bateup. 10, Etuale Louis. 11, Jaden Skinner. 12, Oscar Mazzomo, who is the skipper. 13 is Desmond Raukete. 14, Bailey Nuruddine. 15, Mitchell Webb Leafy. 16, Jordan Tapusawa. 17, Mika Tonu. 18, Jandamara Stewart. And 19 is Kyle Leonard. Should have the players on the field momentarily. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, who are the major sponsor of this Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cup competitions. Without them the last few weeks, this competition couldn't have gone ahead. We also thank Anytime Fitness and, of course, the live stream providers for today. Bar TV Sports bring you all the sights and sounds here from what is a grey and slightly blustery Murray Breen Oval at Canmore. As I said in the introduction, I'm Chris McPherson. I'll be commentating on today's game as we see the referees take the field. The referee in the middle is Dylan Clark. Touch judges Deacon Cameron and Braden McIntosh. In the earlier Andrew Johns Cup fixture, it was the Parramatta Eels running out winners 40 points to 10 over the Central Coast Roosters in a comprehensive victory to wrap up both sides Andrew Johns Cup fixture. And this game, a crucial fixture between these two sides, the Roosters and the Eels in the under-18s Laurie Daley Cup. Currently the Roosters sitting second on 6 competition points, the Eels third on 5. The winner of this competition, of this fixture, should see it through to see themselves through to the semi-finals of the competition. So a lot on the line between these two sides as we see the drifting miserly rain start again here at Canmore, and the Roosters take the field. Great initiative, these competitions by Country Rugby League, allowing these players who might have previously needed to pursue their footballing careers by heading south to Sydney and taking up opportunities in SG ball competitions. They can remain at home in their country regions and represent those regions proudly and still have an opportunity to get in front of the people that are obviously scouting and NRL clubs to continue those pathways. So great to have the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cup providing those pathways through Country Rugby League for developing players as referee Clark gets ready to start us off in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture. I just can't quite keep the ball on the tee here. And it looks like it'll be Drew Lloyd to bring us underway. And he does. He finds the turf. Awkward bounce for the Roosters. But they cart it forward and find the ground about 25 out from their own line. Oh, an early mistake there from the skipper, Darby Elton. Will gift the Eels the first genuine attacking opportunity of this fixture. We touched on in that introduction, it is a crucial fixture for these two sides. It'll be the end of the season for the loser here. The winner will go on to the semi-finals in a fortnight's time, where they'll take on most likely the top side in the southern pool. As the rain gets heavier here at Morriebreen Oval. Another mistake, this time from Louis. And as this rain picks up, the conditions for handling are going to become much more difficult. See Regan Harris to feed this scrum. The Roosters cut this one up. Stinging defence from the Parramatta Eels. Too wide of the ruck. Just keeping it simple at this stage, the Roosters, as they try to get out of their own half. Again, a big hit there from Louis. He's a big body and shows some real sting in his defence. As we see Regan Clark going to contact there. Harte has picked up that kick and takes it back to the 30-metre line for the Eels. See Joshua Hay go in for a little bit of work. Bait up, gives it off to the left. The Eels work towards halfway and they're brought down just short. And they're awarded the first penalty of the Laurie Daley Cup match. A little bit too slow in the ruck for referee Dylan Clark's liking. And Greenmer will kick for touch. And finds it about 37 out from their attacking try line. Zomo, the skipper, he winds up. Brought down about 27 out. Kyle Leonard there. They come to the right. Dummy to Louis. Can they get the offload free here? Skinner. It's knocked down there by the Roosters, it looks like. Very hard to make out in this rain at the moment. That'll be another set of 6 for the Eels. Right in the attacking zone. Joshua Hay going into contact there. Louis takes 4 attackers, defenders over with him. But they can't stop him from getting it down. The big-bodied prop. And he opens the scoring for the Parramatta Eels. And they take the lead. 4 points to 0 in the early stages of this Laurie Daley Cup fixture. Sometimes it doesn't matter how many bodies you get in the way when a big bopper like that comes storming in from only a couple of metres out. He's very hard to stop. Seen that earlier in the competition. He picked up a couple of doubles early in the competition. And from short range, he's a dangerous man in this Laurie Daley Cup competition as the Eels take the lead. And we'll see Drew Lloyd, who'll attempt to kick the conversion from just to the outside on the left of the goalpost at the southern end here of Moraybreen Oval in Camwell. He's been pretty handy with the boot for the duration of this competition. And he makes no mistake. Stabs that one over the black dot and extends the Parramatta Eels lead out to 6 points to nil over the Central Coast Roosters. With 29 minutes remaining in this first half.
Central Coast Roosters yet to score.
Awkward bounce there, but they managed to pick it up and they card it out to the 20, the Eels. That's Jaden Skinner there carting it forward in the 11. Those bright orange boots certainly stand out. Bader gives it off, and there's that try scorer, Louis. Carts it forward. Doesn't seem to matter where on the field. He's a hard man to bring down. Bader up to Greamer, and a penalty. Roosters offside. And the Eels, they find touch, 32 out. See if they can go back-to-back here. They can get it inside that 10-metre line. I would be surprised if they don't try the Louis tactic again. See the skipper there, Mazzomo. He cuts that one forward inside the 30. They come to the right. That's Greamer. That's Kyle Leonard. Played a hooker earlier in the season for them. He's morphed himself into a back row and middle forward. Out the back from Louis. Greamer. Mazzomo. He gives it off. That's Connor Griffiths. They're about 12 out from the attacking line. They bring it back to the right. Again, out the back from Louis. Kyle Leonard takes it forward. He's met strongly by Regan Clark. And plays it on the 10-metre line. They take it back to the left. Greamer. He hits the centre. Brings him down. They're brought down in the corner. A couple of metres out. They bring it back to the right. Behind Louis again. Greamer to Lloyd. Lloyd on the toe in behind. It's dived on by the Roosters and it looks like it was forced in goal there by Caden Rosemeyer, and referee Clark seen it that way, so we'll have a goal line dropout to bring us back underway. And Isaac Blackwell gets us back underway, taken by Drew Lloyd. And he gives it off to Vakai. He carts it over the 30-metre line. A couple of big bookends the Eels side. Speaking of bookends, here's Louis. He takes it forward another 15 or so metres. Takes him inside the 20 on tackle 2. They're set here to the right. They go to Greamer. He goes out the back to Lloyd. Tap on. Didn't quite stick. We've got a knock on both ways here, it looks like. The Eels and then the Roosters couldn't quite pick it up. So they'll have a scrum feed to the Roosters. About 18 out from their own line, and they'll breathe a sigh of relief there, the Roosters' defence. The defensive pressure was starting to mount after a couple of sets down this end. Harris to feed the scrum for the Roosters. Referee Clark just getting his instructions nice and clear to all and sundry in that scrum. Harris feeds it. Blackwell gives it off. As the Roosters take it up over the 40-metre line. There's Blackwell. Little juggle. Inside the attacking half now, the Roosters. They kick. Looking like a lot of the chase might be in front, so he might have some room to work with here, the fullback, Arte. He's pumping those legs as he takes it over the 20. A little bit of a juggle, but he holds on to it. Looks like Stewart on the field there. Sometimes played a few different positions for them across the competition. Central Coast looking to show some intent in this set, really driving them back in defence. Lloyd back inside to Vakai. Kick from outside the 40. Stevenson picks that one up. A awkward bounce for him, but picks it up at his toes. Cards it back. 35 out from his own line. And the Eels now ping for offside. We haven't none of that, referee Clark. And Regan Harris kicks for touch. Picks up some great meters. Takes them to about 27 out from their attacking try line. First real opportunity they've had down this end, the Roosters, so we'll see what they can string together. As Verheyen goes into contact just short of the 20-metre line. They continue to come left. Keg King gives it off. That's wide. Tackle looked a little high on McLean. The referee says play on. They come to the left through Harris again. He decides to go himself. Runs it at Skinner. Take it back to the right now. There's McLean again. Clark gets it. They go for the wraparound. Yeah, I was going to say that looked like a little bit of obstruction. Sure enough, referee has seen it the same way. And the Eels escape there. I'll take the opportunity and probably use... it looks like they're just going to take the tap. Not backing their own boot on a blustery day to find touch. To be safe than sorry. They'll now work it out from their own end. Bait up. He gives it off to Stewart. Played a bit of fullback earlier in the year, Jenna Stewart. He's a stocky character and he could quite easily fill in a number of different positions. So he's playing out in the left wing today. Lloyd takes it to Skinner. Keeps pumping those legs after the first contact. Bait up now goes to half. Takes it back to Lloyd. Kicks the open side. Finds the grass. Looks like that's Lachlan Fisher bringing it back for the Roosters. Great marker defence from the Eels there. The Roosters don't pick up any metres for their second tackle. Come left and take it almost to the 40. Continue to come left. That's Kyle McLean. He's got through plenty of work early for the Roosters. Haven't had much opportunity in attacking half the Roosters, so they want to put their foot on the throat here. A kick out of dummy half. Not a great bounce for Harte. He should find his way back to the field of play. Ducks under an arm and surrenders a metre out from the line. Looks like something's gone astray for him there. Not sure what's happened. Maybe his shoulder, or as he's landed on, or a knee twisting in contact on the ground. Just under 22 minutes remaining here in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture between the Parramatta Eels and the Central Coast Roosters. The Eels currently lead this one 6 points to nil in a crucial fixture. The winner of this will likely play in semi-final footy, whereas the loser, that'll be the end of their season and all she wrote. Trainer's just tending to Garamu Harte at the moment. I hope there's nothing too serious. Trainer's got a hand in the air though, so interesting to see what they do here. They do have a couple of versatile players in Kyle Leonard and Jendamara Stewart who can play elsewhere on the field and may require one of them to jump into fullback if he's no good. The trainer's signalling that looks like that's the case. Going to bring him from the field. Fortunate to see that's the case. While they bring him from the field, we might just take another opportunity to thank our sponsors who without whom this competition would not be possible, which is SLE Worldwide Australia, who are the major sponsor of the competition, Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream provider Bar TV Sports. It looks like Jordan Tapusawa will come onto the field for Harte. And it looks like that man Stewart's already slotted back to fullback by the look of it. Eels really having trouble getting out of their own half here. You see Bait up take a scoot. Here's the try scorer, Louis. He carts it forward for some good metres again. But he's made a crucial error and spilt the ball. And the Roosters, with an opportunity inside the attacking half, they'll have a scrum feed just outside the attacking 30 here. Almost centre field. Interesting to see what they can do here. Whether they can reply with some points as the clock ticks down towards 20 minutes remaining in this first half of this Laurie Daley Cup fixture between the Central Coast Roosters and the Parramatta Eels. So it'll be Lachlan DeBellis to feed the scrum. They bring it to the left through Harris. He's forced to ground, tackle one just inside the 30. Yeah, wide to the right here. Over the top ball there from Stevenson. Slicing back through his Boyle. He's dragged down about 1.5 metres short of the line. Great cover defence there by Bait up. They go out the back. Can Parramatta hold them up short? Get an offload away. A loose ball backwards. Should be play on. There's a bit of a loose offload by Clark. And Harris has dived on it. Parramatta driving back to the 10 metre line. They come to the left. That's McLean. Can he carry a couple over and get it down? Referee Clark in perfect position. Says he's short of the line. Tackle 2. Go back to the middle. That's Harris. Gives it short. That's Keg King, the Rimba Magpie. That's tackle 5. Blackhall from dummy half out the back. That's DeBellis. They swing it wide. They've got space on the outside here. Boyle steps back against the grain and is brought to ground. Probably should have used the hands there. Bernie's winger. And it remains Parramatta Eels 6, Central Coast Roosters 0. Here at Morriebreen Oval, Camberwell, in this Laurie Daley Cup Under-18s fixture. Parramatta Eels now with the work to do to bring it out from their own line. The try scorer, Louis, has a bit of a juggle. He dropped his last one. Hangs onto that one and carts it out to the 20. Out to the right, through the skipper, Mazomo. Brings it back to almost centre field. Almost out to the 30. Bait up. Gives it to Leonard. He gives it to Jai Vakai. Keeps pumping those legs. Finds his front, plays the ball. Go out the back. Greamer. It's done well to beat the first defender. Gina Murray-Stewart tries to shrug off the player. They might have been knocked out. It's 5 now. I think Parramatta thought the last tackle might have been the last. Interesting to see the referee's decision. Still 5 here. I think Parramatta might have thought they had 6 again, but unfortunately for them, they turn it over there. Judged that the Roosters player didn't play at it. He was taking evasive action. Play the ball. No one at home there. Interestingly enough, the Eels probably could have dived on that if they wanted to. As we see McLean taking the ground for tackle 1, just inside the attacking half. Tip on from the front rower. Short ball to Darby Elton, the skipper, but he can't quite get the arms free to continue the movement. They continue on the right. That's DeBellis. Gave it off for Boyle. DeBellis there at first receiver again. They go for the +1 play. Out to Regan Clark. Out the back, Harris. He kicks for the corner. The wing is unmarked. Oh, and it's gone straight through his arms. He spilt that quite possibly in the field of play. It looks like Logan Sipple there. Probably had a little bit too much time to think about it and just couldn't quite reel it in. Probably already thinking about dotting it down. If he took it, he was unmarked, and he would have gone in and given them an opportunity to level the score. Instead, the Parramatta Eels will now have a scrum feed 10 out from their own line. The Eels, Drew Lloyd defeated. Again, they find themselves working it out of their own defensive red zone. Track looks like it's dried up from the early rain we had at the start of this fixture. So we might start to see some more expansive football as this game continues on. Touched on earlier, a very crucial fixture. The winner will see semi-final football. The loser will see the end of their season. As we see the skipper for Parramatta, Oscar Mazzomo, cart that one forward almost to the 30. Come back to the right through Lloyd. He gives it off to Skinner. It's been a workhorse already. Gets up, plays it just short of the 40. They come to the blind side. Lloyd back underneath for Vakai. He pumps the legs, takes it across halfway. Made reasonably easy work of getting it out of their own half here, Parramatta. Lloyd with a juggle. He's tackled on the 5th. Greener back on the inside. He sends it skyward. Mazzomo, the second rower, goes high. He takes it. He's swarmed by Roosters defenders. And we'll see a changeover just inside their 20-metre line of the Central Coast to play the ball for tackle 0. See the Roosters scoot that one out across the 20-metre line. So they bring it left through Caden Rosemeyer. Carded through the middle by Verheyen, and he spilled it. Great initial contact there by the Eels. Unfortunately for them, it looks like one of their big bodies, Vakai, might be down grabbing his ankle. I hope he's all right. He will be crucial to the Parramatta efforts in this fixture. A little bit of treatment. It looks like it might be his knee rather than his ankle. Parramatta's take this as a bit of an opportunity to regroup. Referee Dylan Clark used it as an opportunity to convey some instructions to a couple of the Roosters forwards. Actually, looks like it might be their left centre, Caden Rosemeyer. Hard to tell in this day and age as they pack anyone and everyone into a scrum as it suits. So, looked like Vakai was getting ready to feed the scrum then, and that would have been a whole new level of mixing things up at the scrum, but no, it'll be Lloyd. You see the bright green boots there at first receiver, that's Webb Leafy. Those boots stand out, and he's the man that takes it into contact. You can spot his tall frame and those bright green boots from a mile away. Nearly a boot in the face there for his hooker from him as he thrashes about. There's that man that's getting some treatment before Vakai. They go to the left, that's Lloyd. Dummies to Webb Leafy. Gives it short. Kyle Leonard. They come back to the right, Webb Leafy's there. He strides out, goes into contact, spins. There's about 4 or 5 of them, but they pull him down just short of the line. He's all arms and legs everywhere. Bait up. Takes his time picking the ball up, and he's dived upon by Verheyen. They come right to Lloyd. He gives the ball off to the 11, who is Jaden Skinner, but he's driven into touch by the Roosters defence. They just ran out of space, unfortunately, there on the last tackle. And the Roosters again breathe another sigh of relief and will now have to work it out from their defensive red zone. See Kyle McLean at dummy half. Gives it off to Verheyen, Terrigal Sharks Jr. He's driven backwards by Bait Up. And we see Regan Clark appealing to the referee for something, I'm not quite sure what. See the tip on, that might be Keg King with the ball now. Come back to the middle, scoop from Blackwell. Picked up some good metres. Now they go to Harris. That black and red headgear. He kicks downfield. There's Jandamara Stewart, the man who's slotted back to fullback. And he carts it back. If you can get on the outside here, there could be some trouble for the Roosters. He's dragged down by Sipple. Might be a penalty against Parramatta here. That's exactly right. Incorrect play the ball. Stewart just a little bit too keen to get to his feet. And the Roosters in some prime field position now. As we tick down to 12 minutes remaining in this first half. Fine touch on the 30-metre line. Just dab it forward so they can take the tap. A little bit of confusion around who's going to take the tap, but it's Caden Rosemeyer in the end. Gives a horrible ball to Harris. He tips it on to Verheyen. Verheyen will play it. That's Blackall. Clark winds up. Gives the tip on right at the line. Looks like Keg King with the ball. Tries to get his arms free. But he's brought down by Skinner and co. Bring it back to the left through Clark. Tries to get the arm free again, but Webb Leafy's all over him. Wraps the ball up. They go to the right. That's DeBellis. With the cutout ball. A step back inside. The offload from the winger to the centre. Cody Boyle brought down there. The short ball. Darby Elton, the skipper, tries to barge over but can't find a gap. Now go at the back to Bellis. He gets a rushed kick away. Scooped up there by Joshua Hay. He's driven backwards but not quite into the in-goal. Connor Griffith scoots that one out. Picks up a good 10 or 11 metres. Gets Parramatta out of a little bit of trouble. Lloyd at dummy half. Tries to scoot himself. Spins out. Gets the offload away. Tapasawa takes that one forward into contact. Bader. It's like Green on her half, is it? No. Kick early from inside the 40. Won't quite find the 20-metre line. They find touch about 25 out from the line, but Parramatta will use this as a chance to recompose and reset. As they lead this game 6-0 over the Central Coast Roosters in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture at Morrie Breen Oval in Camel. Fortunately for all those players out there, the rain has cleared. It looks like the pitch is drying up. We've saw some early mistakes in the drizzle before, but the greasy conditions hopefully have dried and we'll start to see some more attacking football. Again, today's fixture brought to you by the sponsors SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and the live stream providers Bar TV Sports. Great purveyors of live streaming Australian and international sports. As we see Darby Elton, the skipper for the Roosters, take that one to the 40-metre line. That's Keg King winding up, taking it forward to halfway for the Roosters. Come back to the left through Clark. He tips on. That's Hakalo. Gets a quick play the ball. They go back to the right through a scoot through Blackall. Another penalty. High tackle. Looks like against Jaden Skinner. Regan Harris finds touch just inside the attacking 20. And the Roosters will try to mount another attacking charge here. So we see Hakalo wind up and take it inside the 10-metre line. He's put on his back. To Blackall. To Clark. Keg King. He's in a hole there. Can he barge over? He can. Gets inside Stewart. Dots it down. Under the posts. And that'll bring the Roosters right back into this one. They now trail 6-4 with a kick to come. An opportunity to level this one up late in this first half of the Laurie Daley Cup fixture. Keg King just hit that hole perfectly. Ran a great line. Slight bit of footwork to get back inside Stewart. And barge his way over with one or two on his back. A great individual try there. It'll be Regan Harris attempting to add the extras and bring us all level here. As we We get down to about 7.5 minutes remaining in this first half. We've got a cracker of a game on our hands here. Nothing really separating these two teams. Just about discipline and completion at the moment. Harris makes no mistake, and we're all level. 6 points all, with just under 7.5 remaining in the first half of this Laurie Daley Cup country representative fixture between the Parramatta Eels and the Central Coast Roosters. Last stage of this first half could be broken open by a bit of individual brilliance. No one's really stepped up and taken the mantle or taken the game by its throat yet. Two solid sides coming head to head here, battling for an opportunity to play semi-finals football in a fortnight's time. The Roosters take that on the full. They wind up, try and bring it back to the 30. They're brought down just short. Starting to bring on some fresh faces now, the Roosters, and rotate their forwards. There's the skipper though, Darby Elton. Blackall, he's got through a lot of work. He's been pretty productive when he scooted out of dummy half. And they go to the right. There's the try scorer, Keg King. Good shot there by Cameron Bader. One of the Parramatta players has come off quite worse for wear. Looks like Kyle Leonard. Brock Laver. You remember Magpies Junior to play it here. Slow things down, give it a treatment. Seems a little bit woozy on his feet, Leonard. He's got his head caught in an awkward spot there in that tackle as he came in and Bait Up closed off his space. He's been given the all clear. And we'll get back underway, tackle 5 here. They go back to Harris. Chase is good. Janamara Stewart slides on one knee, takes a great catch there, bumps off the first couple of defenders. He breaks free, he's across the 40. Can he outpace the chase? He's across the 50, the 40. Brought down by Sipple. Sipple's come from nowhere to bring him down. Without him chasing, Stewart was free. They go to the left now, Lloyd. He hits the short ball. That's Tonu. Brought down, 8 out from the line. The Roosters players all back in defence now. They needed to quick play the ball there, the Eels. Lloyd, Webb Leafy runs a decoy. Greamer skips through. He steps through and he's away. He's over. What a great try by Greamer. The footwork at the line sees him slice through and dot down to extend the Parramatta Eels lead out to 10 points to 6 with a kick to come. That all came off the work of Jandamara Stewart. That spectacular catch on one knee. 80-metre run then. Set up with a couple more plays from there, and then Greamer slices through the tired Roosters defence to extend their lead out to 10 points to 6. Now we see the Roosters captain, Darby Elton, going to come out and have a bit of a firm discussion with referee Dylan Clark. Referee Dylan Clark didn't seem to want to hear too much of it. Listened very quickly to what Elton had to say and then dismissed it. Not too sure what sort of protest he could have had there. It was a pretty simple one. Missed tackles on Stewart cost them a lot of field position then. And then they were just trying to recover and catch their breath but couldn't do so. And the Eels capitalised through the footwork of Greamer. He's been pretty quiet so far, Lloyd being the main playmaker in the early stages of this game. But like we talked about, we needed someone to grab this game by the throat, and he might have just done that early here. And Lloyd now winds up to extend their lead. They currently lead 10 points to 6. He's about 15 in from touch on the eastern side of Murray Breen Oval. He hits it well, and it's straight across the black dot and extends their lead out to 12 points to 6 for the Parramatta Eels over the Central Coast Roosters in this Laurie Daley Cup Country Rugby League representative fixture. As the clock counts down to about 3.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Kyle McLean gets us back underway. The bounce there. Webb Leafy takes it almost out of Stewart's hands. And he winds up that big loping stride. There's 4 of them in there and he's still moving forward. He's brought to the ground about 26 out from his own try line. Bait up. He gives it to Skinner. Skinner hits and spins. Picks up about 11 metres there. They're on the roll now, Parramatta. Comes back Webb Leafy once again. No, he tips on. Here's Kyle Leonard. Recovered from his little head knock before. Lloyd. He gives it off. That's Tapasoa. He continues to pump. Takes it almost to the attacking 40. They're picking up easy metres here, the Eels. Gets to play the ball. Bait up to Lloyd. Gives it on. That's Mika Tonu. He's tackled for the 5th, just over 30 out from the line. Slips as he tries to regain his feet. Greamer. Little stab kick in behind. Picked up by Riley Stevenson. And he's brought to ground on his 10-metre line. Lachlan Fisher tries to take a scoot but doesn't make it too far. That's tackle 2. That's a better scoot as they take it over the 20-metre line. You see Hakalo, another bumping run from him. He beats the first defender, but the next 3 bring him to ground and drive him onto his back. Just short of the 40-metre line now. That's McLean. He's been solid for the Roosters in the opening stanza of this match. Takes it almost to halfway. Blackall now. Comes out of dummy half and kicks to the short side. Stewart picks it up just inside his own 10. Slips a little. Brings it back towards centre field. Comes around Blackall. Gives the don't argue. But he's brought down about 15 out. Eels will be looking for some of the outside backs to come in and get some work here. That's exactly what happens as we see Connor Griffiths cart that one forward. Now Kyle Leonard. Said played a lot of the start of the season in the 9 and 14 jerseys as a utility. Sort of morphed into a bit of a back row now, an undersized one at that. Bait up. Well placed. I thought it might have gone out in the full, but he finds touch and they'll just look to gain composure and try and pin the Roosters down in their defensive half here. With about 40 seconds remaining in this first half, Parramatta Eels leading 12 points to 6 over the Central Coast Roosters. Game's fairly evenly poised. It's all been about who can maintain possession and discipline so far. And I'm sure they'll be the key messages conveyed by the respective coaches, Matthew Hunter and Imad Alamuddin, in the halftime huddles. As we see Regan Harris feed this scrum with about 20 seconds remaining. The Eels will be looking just to defend this out from here. As we see the skipper again put his hand up for another run, Darby Elton. Brock Laver carts that one forward as the hooter goes. Referee Dylan Clark says, "That'll do us, lads," and sends them to the sheds with the Parramatta Eels leading this Laurie Daley Cup Country Rugby League representative fixture at Morayburn Oval, Camwell. 12 points to 6 over the home side, the Central Coast Roosters. It's been a solid encounter so far, and it's anyone's for the taking. As I said, it'll be discipline and possession that'll be the messages conveyed by the coaches at half-time. We'll rejoin you here from Morayburn Oval, Camwell for the second half in about 5 to 10 minutes. Parramatta Eels leading this Laurie Daley Cup fixture 12 points to 6.
Coming back, the New South Wales Rugby League Harold Matthews fixture. Six Coast Roosters are taking on the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs.
Welcome back to the second half of the Daley Cup Country Rugby League representative fixture between the Parramatta Eels and the Central Coast Roosters. Live from Murray Breen Oval at Camwell. I'm your commentator today, Chris McPherson, and we're just awaiting the home side, the Central Coast Roosters, as they take the field. Parramatta currently leading this fixture 12 points to 6. In the earlier Andrew Johns Cup fixture, the Parramatta Eels ran out comfortable winners, 40 points to 10. Looking forward to a promising second half here in a tight contest with the semi-final spot in the Daley Cup up for grabs. The home side, the Central Coast Roosters, currently sits second on the table on 6 competition points. The Eels 1 competition point behind them. Both sides having only lost the 1 fixture so far in this competition. So for one of these sides, this will be the final 35 minutes of their season. For the others, it'll be the starting point of a finals campaign that'll kick off in 2 weeks' time. As McLean gets us underway, Greamer, the last try scorer, takes a catch. Webb Leafy storms back into contact there, almost to the 20 metres. The Eels continue to work forward. Looks like through Kyle Leonard. Continue to go to the right. That is Tapusawa with the ball. That's Mika Tonu. He winds right up, takes it almost to halfway. Bait up at half. Looks to his right. Goes out, goes short. Tapusawa. Second hit up of the half. Out the back to Lloyd. He has to reach for it, but reels it in. Read easily by Riley Stevenson and takes it on the full and carts it back across the 20-metre line for the Roosters. Now the Roosters with work to do. That's Logan Sipple. As a juggle as he gets to his feet. The captain, Darby Elton, from the Erina Eagles Club. They continue to pepper this blind side. Now through Cody Boyle. Isaac Blackhall off for Keg King. It's been juggled by both sides. That might be 6 again, is it? It is. Referee Clark went to put the whistle to his mouth, but realised the Roosters had grabbed hold of that. And they'll have 6 more from the attacking 40-metre line. Fullback Riley Stevenson taking his time to complain rather than just getting on with playing the ball when they're in prime position. Well, not the smartest option. Blackhall goes to that man, Keg King, as well. He's the try scorer for the Roosters earlier. Harris out the back for Stevenson. He gets the ball away under heavy pressure. They give it on the outside. Sipple, he's on the outside. He beats Stewart, dots it down right in the corner. And that'll get them within 2 points, the Roosters. The referee and touch judges, they like it. Clark points to the spot. And that takes it to the Roosters 10, Parramatta Eels 12 with a kick to come. Sipple got that in a little bit of space, but he had work to do and did really well. Didn't go for the classic high-floating dive or anything like that. Just backed himself to get on the outside of Stewart and then planted the ball down just inside the corner post. A great effort there. He bombed a try earlier today when he had a lot of time to think about it. That one, a bit more pressure. And he manages to get across the stripe and gives his 5'8", Regan Harris, the opportunity to level the scores from out very wide, only probably a couple of feet inside the touchline in the southeastern corner of Murray Breen Oval. But the Roosters have come out in the second half with some punch. This game heating right up in the early stage of the second half. Parramatta looking a little shell-shocked behind the line. I don't think they were expecting the Roosters to come out with such oomph to start this second stanza. You see Regan Harris comes in, he strikes it. He struck it pretty well. He's pushed it across the face, and the score remains the Parramatta Eels 12, leading the Central Coast Roosters 10 here at the home ground of the Wangaroos, Murray Breen Oval in Camwell.
Parramatta 12. Central Coast 10.
And it'll be
Those boys on the ground.
Drew Lloyd
Could you please hop over the fence? Thank you.
to bring us back underway. Taken by DeBellis. And Keg King finds his front just outside the 20-metre line as they continue on this short side on the side opposite the grandstand here. That's Hakalo, Terrigal Sharks Jr. Takes it over the 40. Plenty of attention from both Leonard and Tonu. Harris looks for the early kick. They try to turn Stewart around, but he reads it early, gets back and takes it on the full. And he'll come back with a full head of steam here and brings it almost to the 30-metre line, Morris Stewart. He's up slowly. Looks like he might have copped a knock there. And that looks like it might be Connor Griffiths that has played that one. Braith and Vaughan Aspen goes into contact. And there's Webb Leafy carting it forward towards the attacking 40. Big loping step. Go right. There's Leonard. He gives it off to Lloyd. He dummies, straightens, gets his arm free, gets his whole self free. Steps through again. Gives it off to Groomer. He dummies and goes. It worked for him in the first half when he managed to score, but couldn't get through then. They come to the left. Lloyd. He toes it through. Oh, Stevenson's made a mess of that one. Lloyd dives on it, and he dives over in the corner. That'll be a try to Drew Lloyd. And Parramatta will extend their lead to 16 points to 10 with a kick to come from out wide. Riley Stevenson just made a bit of a mess of that one and couldn't regather it. Drew Lloyd saw it sitting on the ground with open space in front of him, pinned his ears and dived in the corner. Great eyes up football there from Drew Lloyd. Going to have his work cut out for him now. Quick response there though from the Eels to the Roosters. Try to open the second half. And Lloyd will now have a conversion attempt from about 20 centimetres in from touch in the northwestern corner of Moraybrain Oval. The favoured side for the right footer, especially if he hooks it a little. With the slight breeze we have, he'll probably started out in front a little bit and hope the breeze brings it back a little bit with him. Breeze blowing from right to left as we look at the goalposts. Strikes it well, starts it out, but it just doesn't come back. Not enough with the wind. And the score remains Parramatta Eels 16, Central Coast Roosters 10 in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture here at Moraybrain Oval, Camwell.
Parramatta 16, Central Coast 10.
About 7 minutes gone in this second half. This game is anyone's for the taking. As we keep touching on, there is a semi-final spot up for grabs, so it's winner takes all here in this final round Laurie Daley Cup fixture between the Roosters and the Eels. As McLean, a low-driven kickoff. And it's pulled in by Vaughan Aspen. He gives it off. There to Tonu. Oh, almost gets his arm free there. Tapasoa. He's brought it back to halfway for tackle two. The Parramatta Eels, they've got their tails up and they get a penalty. Slowing the ruck a little bit too much there. Looks like Isaac Blackall. Interesting to see centre field. Greenus elects to kick for touch. See how much ground he can pick up here. And the answer is none as he finds the breadbasket of the right winger here, Lachlan Fisher. He had a bit of a juggle, but caught it well into the field of play. A little bit too greedy there from Greener. The Roosters with a let-off. Stevenson carting it forward, keen to make up for his last mistake. Yeah, at the back to the captain. That's Darby Elton. Now they go to Harris. He gives it off to Keg King. He looks to use his support player, but holds on to it as he crosses the attacking 40. He gets his arm free to Blackall. That's a great offload. Fortunately, Blackall's on his own. The support was a little bit too far away and just napping a little. Harris goes to half. Keg King out the back. Quick hands. That's Cody Boyle. Steps back inside. Can he get the... Oh, he just couldn't quite look to offload. Player down here for the Eels, unfortunately, in back play. They go to the left. That's the Bellis. Harris kicks. Swirling kick. Oh. He was up in the air there, Stewart, trying to take that, but he's knocked it on. And that'll give the Roosters another set here, it looks like. Well, he said knock on both ways. I think the first was by Jandamara Stewart as he leapt high to try and take this one. Unfortunately, that's Grima on this far side that's down, getting some treatment from the trainer. He's been there for a couple of tackles. Just looks like he got caught awkwardly in the tackle, trying to shut down that attacking raid on the right-hand wing. Looks like he'll be all right. Roosters trainers just running out some instructions there at the break in play, but we're all set now. Green has been given the all clear. Looks like it'll be Regan Harris to feed it. Lachlan DeBella standing at first receiver. At the back there, that's Stevenson. Shrugs off the first, gives it on the outside. Lachlan Fisher nearly beats all the defenders there. He beat the first couple. Unfortunately, Riley Stevenson's on the ground now. Players dropping like flies. There's the captain, Elton. He goes into contact, straightens it up. He looked to get a quick play of the ball here. Leonard trying to get him to ground. Couldn't quite do so. Blackall. He comes out. Leonard might have been lucky to get away with being square at marker. Go out the back. That's the Bellis. He goes to Harris. Parramatta Eels defence is up quickly, but they're outnumbered on the left if the Roosters can use it early. Keg King goes that way. Runs himself, slices through, plants it down. That's his second, Keg King. And the Roosters are right back in this one. They trail 14 points to 16 with a kick to come. And we'll have the opportunity to level this one up from just to the left of the uprights. He's been strong and he's dangerous in that red zone. He's got good footwork. And one-on-one can beat his man most times, Keg King. Gets his second try and gets his Roosters right back into this arm wrestle and the battle for a semi-final position in the Laurie Daley Cup. It'll be Regan Harris, the entrance Tigers junior, who look to increase his record to 2 from 3 conversion attempts. Much more simple conversion attempt than his previous one. I said just a few metres to the left of the uprights, the southern end of Morriebreen Oval. Conditions have really dried up here and starting to promote some attacking football, which is great to see. There's a good crowd in here to watch it. And he makes no mistake, Harris. That brings us all level, 16 points all. Still plenty of time in this fixture, about 23 and a bit minutes to go, so there'll be plenty more turns in this tail, I'm sure. As the Eels make a change, bringing on Raukete. We haven't seen too much of so far this afternoon, so we also bring on Louis, who was the first try scorer of the fixture. As Lloyd gets us back underway. A little bit of confusion about who wanted to take that. Mr. Bellis in the end. He gives it off for Clark. He runs into Webb Leafy, Bait Up, and Louis. They bring it the short side. Darby Elton is met again by numbers in defence. Two front rowers come together. Carlo and Louis. And Louis ended up with the ball. There's 2 in the tackle, they've said, when Louis stripped it. Took a moment to get that call through from the touchy, but the touchy was in prime position to make that call. I think as he went to get to his feet anyway, Louis might have lost it. Lloyd trying to argue his cause, but it's probably a lost one. Regan Harris finds touch inside the attacking half. And the Roosters, I look to go back-to-back with tries here and hopefully take the lead. Louis again with a stinging shot on Carlo. They still have come together a couple of times now. It was a mediocre play the ball, and DeBellis has just put that down cold. Not a man near him, and he's just dropped it. Pass was on his chest, and just while you're thinking about something else, he's probably 2 plays ahead of everyone else, being a half, and wasn't quite focused on the simple thing of just catching and getting ready to deliver that pass. So now the Eels will have an opportunity to take the ball into the attacking half. What can their halves offer up here? Grima and Lloyd. Vaughan Aspen at first receiver. Takes it forward almost the halfway line. He's brought down by Clark. Webb Leafy keeps pumping the legs, makes a few metres after contact, gets across the 40. Bait up, takes it back to the middle through Grima. Dummies to Louis. Gives it off to Kyle Leonard. He's broken the first tackle. Gets the ball free to Lloyd. Lloyd dummies. Keeps pumping his little legs forward. Almost to the 20. Now got bait up. Louis to his left. He dummies, doesn't use him. Scoots out to the 10. They're inside the 10 now, the Parramatta Eels. Louis, the biggest dummy half we've seen so far today. He goes out to the right. That's Mazzomo. He gives it off. They try to drive him across. That's the 5th. Just short of the line, Parramatta. They're set to the left. And they try to scoot from dummy half. Bit of white line fever strikes, and he turns it over. Loses the ball. Referee Clark says we'll have a changeover to the Roosters on the 10-metre line. Silly error there. They had a full back line and some optional runners set to wide to the left. Just a bit of white line fever could cost them their Parramatta in this game, which is poised in the balance at the moment at 16 all. Both sides finding some success with making metres easily enough, coming out of their own half. They go at the back. Cody Boyle coming in for some work. Go back to the left. That looks like Clark. He gives the tip on. Kyle McLean. Those bright white boots. Go to the left. Blackall kicks. Finds the turf. Vaughan Aspen back at fullback at the moment. He beats the first defender. It's brought to ground. Now Jandamara Stewart. 3 players who's filled in at fullback today. He carts it forward. Bullocking run. Jaden Skinner winds up here. Pumps the legs almost back to halfway on tackle 3. Now Webb Leafy, they're playing it pretty simple here, Parramatta, as they get out of their own half. He picks up another 12 metres. He's gone for 10 plus on nearly every run so far today. Bait up. Spots the space and kicks it into the corner. It's an awkward ball, but Sipple picks it up. Brings it back just across the 10-metre line. He's brought down by a couple of Parramatta defenders. And they scoot out. Through Stevenson. Bring it to the right. Zomo in the wrestle. Verheyen winds up. He's back on the field now for the Central Coast Roosters. About halfway through this second half, the score's poised at 16 all. Keg King making some big metres with a man on his back there. Carries Kyle Leonard forward as he gets to the 40-metre line. They go out the back. Harris looks for the torpedo. It's a bit wobbly, but it's had the effect. Parramatta have put it down on their own 20-metre line. Connor Griffiths just couldn't quite get the read of that ball. It wobbled away from him at the last minute and drifted. And that'll give the Roosters some prime territory to attack from as they have a scrum feed 20 out on the western side of Murray Breen Oval. Another Parramatta player down here on the far side. Tick down to just under 17.5 remaining. This game is anyone's for the taking. Just be a moment of individual brilliance that'll break this one open. Plenty of players with the ability on both sides. We've already seen a couple of strong runs and players slicing through. We've seen the likes of Keg King, Louis, Jandamara Stewart with his long-range run before that set up one of their tries. And Both sets of halves, both equally adept at attacking the line. So maybe a couple more twists in the tail before this one's over, I would have thought. As we see Harris take that one to the line. They set both sides now. Runchel really wants it on the right, but which way will they go? And they go back to the left. Through McLean. Brought down just short. They go out the back. That's DeBellis. He gives it off to the man with 2 tries, Keg King. Unfortunately, Stevenson couldn't quite reel that in. A loose pass from Keg King, a loose offload, and Parramatta. They dodge the bullet there, and they will have a scrum feed and loose head, 10 out from their own line, and we'll look to work this out of their own defensive half. Talked about it in the first half. It's really going to be discipline, completion. That'll be the keys to this one. Doesn't need to take anything too fancy. Both sides are finding easy enough meters with the ball in hand. So it'll all be about who can stay disciplined and who can complete their sets. Here's the man, Webb Leafy, carting it up, bumps off the first defender. Takes his time getting to his feet. So it could be Mazomo, the ball in his hand now. Roosters just too slow out of that ruck. Actually, Raukete. Somewhat to earn his side a penalty. And again, discipline will gift the Eels possession almost in the attacking half here. A little bit less greedy with this kick, Grima. So they'll have about 55 metres to go to score here. Tap taken by Hay, and he carts it forward, picks up 15 easy metres as they go into the attacking half. Now Raukete, he winds up, continues to pump the legs, takes it almost to the 30-metre line in the attacking half. They bring it to Kyle Leonard. He had Vakai in support with him. Lloyd's calling for it here. He's got Vakai and Louis outside him. Gives it to Louis. He winds up, throws off DeBellis, carries about 4 players with him. He's brought down just short of the line. He's trying to milk the penalty. He's not going to have it though. Bait up with a loose pass. Lloyd dummies. Gives it off to Vakai. Vakai, can he get his arm free? No, he's brought down by Harris. That's the 5th. Where do they go here? They go to Grima. He chips into the corner. He's put it into row 3, unfortunately. And that'll be all she wrote down this end for Parramatta. The Roosters will have an opportunity to bring the ball out from their own 10-metre line. It's a little bit overweighted, that kick from Grima. Yeah, Connor Griffiths unmarked out here and looked to find him quickly, but couldn't quite get the ball on the spot that he needed it. You see Clark wind up, looks for the offload, gives it. It's a little bit loose, but they've dived on it. The Roosters starting to panic a little here. They're actually in the box C to draw it, see them through. The Eels are the ones that need to win this game. As we see Verheyen pump forward over the 40. Silly penalty there from Parramatta late in the tackle count. Marker just standing not square and then getting involved. Now the Roosters it'll be that are gifted some prime attacking real estate. It's Harris. Finds touch. Smack bang on the 30-metre line. And the Roosters are going to an attacking set. 2 balls on the field here, so we'll just wait a second till they remove one. And Rosemeyer will tap it. He gives it off. Comes to Clark. Rosemeyer gives it off. Oh. Dear, oh dear. Runchel was not even looking then. He was running in support, but had his eyes firmly fixed on the defence and was not expecting that ball. It's again, that'll be a coach killer. One of the first things you're taught as a footballer, obviously always be expecting the ball. He'd switched off completely there, Runchell, unfortunately. So the Highlands pass found his rib cage and then went to ground. Now to be Parramatta to bring it out of their own half. Greener to feed it. Bait up. He gives it off. That's Joshua Hay. He plays it bait up. Back to the middle. Vakai. He winds up. He pumps the legs. And another penalty. For offside this time, the Roosters. It's been a penalty-a-thon here. Both sides very poorly disciplined in what's a game that's there for the taking. Discipline could really be the difference here. Greener last time he kicked from here didn't quite find touch this time. A little bit less aggressive with how many metres he tries to pick up. And finds it just across the halfway line. Mazomo taps it. But no, they've sent him back and said no. There's 2 balls on the field. They'll take the tap again. This time it'll be Greener to take it. Skinner puts his hand up. He wants it. Great first up contact by Boyle. Oh, sorry, it's King the 13. There's a skipper, Mazomo. He runs into the right shoulder of Clark. Bait up now, Greener. Dummies to Vakai. Goes out the back to Lloyd. He skips back to the middle. Doesn't have any running options, so he takes it into contact himself. Starting to be driven backwards before some teammates lend their weight to it. Greener. Vakai. He's got Louis with him. Can get the arm free. Not quite. He looked for the offload there to Greener. Bait up. He's got Greener to his left. Louis to his right. Gives it to Louis. And yeah, the pass was forward. Louis overran it a little. Bait up didn't have the discipline to hold on to it. And again, it's another simple error. Both teams getting a little carried away here with their desire to win the game. Just complete some sets here and you'll really mount the pressure on your opponent as you start to take field position. So now the Roosters just over 20 out from their own line. DeBellis feeds it. Goes to Harris. He kicks early. There's no one at home. Stewart leads the race, but Stevenson closing. Stewart's knocked that one on. Stevenson on the outside. He pins his ears for the corner. That looks like it could be a shoulder charge from Greener, though. But he's gone into touch. Be interesting to see what happens here. No, referee Clark. He's happy with the contact. Says he's used the arm. And it's going to be a scrum. If it was legal, it's a great tackle. The Roosters don't think so. The Eels, of course, do. My initial thoughts on a skewed angle were that it looked like he tucked his arm. But he's gotten away with that one. Greener. Well, Stevenson had the corner, all his for all money. But again, Parramatta come up with a clutch play from their halfback, Gianfranco Greener, the man who now feeds the scrum. Bait up. He gives it off to Louis, who stands at first receiver. He pumps the legs, takes it almost out to the 20. Stewart gives it off to Vakai. Big metres for Vakai as he takes it out across the 30. They continue to go right through Lloyd. He gives it off Rakete. They continue to go forward. Almost to halfway now. Rakete put his hand up again. Takes it across the halfway line. Keeps pumping those legs. Gets a quick play of the ball. That's crucial. Hands on the player. He's trying to get it and they shoved him to the side as he played it, which made it hard for the half to pick it up. Referee Clark won't be having any of that. Janamara Stewart now taking the kick for touch. Picks up almost 20 metres. And they'll take a tap 24 out from their try line. As Rakete winds up here, takes it across the 20 into the red zone. Kyle Leonard's gone to half. That looks like Vakai. He carts it up. Stop for Vahayan. He's only about 4 short of the line. They've got numbers on the left here if they can use it. There's Lloyd. Dummies. Goes out the back to Greener. Greener gives it on. Mazomo. Pulled down just short of the line. Slow play the ball. Player offside at the ruck and reaches through. Looks like Cody Boyle. Again, that's going to be a coach killer. Silly penalties and silly mistakes costing the Roosters here and giving Parramatta a whole full set. Interestingly enough, they've Could have taken that back 20 metres and left the Roosters' defence on the try line, but instead they kick it back. And now Louis winds up from 20 out. The Roosters are up to his measure. They set right here. Tapasawa, they miss him. They go to Vakai. He's brought down about 4 out from the line. Again, numbers on the outside on the right here. Leonard goes to Lloyd. He goes out the back to Stewart. Stewart holds the ball. Beats the first defender. Shrugs off the second, shrugs off the third. He wants to try and reach out, but he can't quite get there. He's 1.5 metres short. They send it back to the left through Lloyd. Tapasawa. He gives it off to Greamer. Greamer to Skinner. Skinner, he's got Mazomo with him. It looks like he's got it down, though. He's bounced through 3 defenders and planted that one down, Skinner. And that'll open up Parramatta in the lead again. Parramatta 20, the Central Coast Roosters 16 in this seesawing encounter. About 6.5 minutes remaining. And we're going to have a red-hot finish on our hands.
Try to the Parramatta Eels, number 11, Jaden Skinner.
Referee Clark laying down the law there to Kyle McLean. Now Drew Lloyd, as the clock ticks down to about 6 minutes, he'll be happy to take as long as he likes. We'll have an opportunity to extend their lead out to 6 points, as they currently lead 20 points to 16, the Parramatta Eels, over the Central Coast Roosters in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture. In the earlier Andrew Johns Cup fixture, as the Parramatta side ran out comfortable winners 40 points to 10 over the Central Coast Roosters. And of course, both of today's fixtures wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and the live stream providers, Bar TV Sports, bringing you the sights and sounds here from Morriebreen Oval at Canwall, the home of the Warangaroos and the home ground today for the Central Coast Roosters. As Lloyd comes in, he hits it well, drifts it over, and that extends the Parramatta Eels lead out to 22 points to 16. Just noting the standings in this pool currently. The Roosters sit in second while Parramatta are in third. Only 1 competition point separating them, so a draw would be enough to see the Roosters go through. So they only need a converted try here to pull level. As the clock ticks down, under 5 minutes, we've got a nail-biting finish on our hands as McLean brings us back underway. Oh, what a catch. He's caught that as it's hit the deck. He had his work cut out for him. He had to reach for it. Looks like Raukete out there. Stinging defence there on Tapusawa. As the Eels continue to wind up. That's Vakai. He's making big metres every run, and he picks up almost 20 there. Roosters can't afford to give away a penalty in this set. Louis looked to come the short side, but Lloyd went back to the middle. He's got no runners. He goes in himself, looks to get it free, and he does. Leonard's there. Again, no runners for him, so just fights his way forward almost to the 40-metre line in the attacking half. Greamer at half. He goes right to Lloyd. Lloyd kicks. Stevens looks like he doesn't want any part of that. Fortunately, it bounces directly towards Sipple, and he manages. And he spilled it though. Eels on the attack now, only 1.5 metres out from the line. That's Vaughan Aspen with the ball. We've got Greedy and tried to dive over from dummy half. They've got numbers set to the left. There they go. That's Leonard. He pushes back to the right. Beats the first tackle. Brought down short again. And he's lost the ball. So the Roosters breathe to fight another day. 3.5 minutes remaining. Parramatta Eels leading 22 points to 16. And the Roosters, they'll have to go 90 metres now if they want to level this one up. The Eels, unsurprisingly, not showing too much enthusiasm to come to this scrum. Just happy to slow things down. But referee Clark's called time off. We've got just over 3 minutes remaining, so at most the Roosters will probably have 2 sets to take their opportunity to score here. As their captain, Darby Elton, takes it out across the 10. Oh, that call probably could have gone either way, but he said that he hadn't actually earned the right to play it yet. It was a sloppy play of the ball. There was a couple of loose hands on him, so it could have gone either way. But again, arguing that the decision of the referee is not going to get you anywhere, and now Parramatta They'll have a scrum feed as we tick down. 2 minutes 40 remaining. They'll just be looking, I would think, to complete this set. If they can score, it'll be an added bonus. But they'll be looking to chop as much time as they can on their way there. Gianfranco Grima trying the oldest trick in the book, taking his time to tie his shoelace, but referee Dylan Clark's up to that. He calls time out. Trying to work out who should be in the scrum here as Gianamara Stewart comes forward to join it. Waiting for the heads in before he blows time back on. 2.5 minutes remaining. Lloyd goes himself, gives it off to Raukete. Parramatta Eels leading 22-16 here. Not much in this game. They come back to the left through Lloyd. He gives it to Vakai. Darby Elton shoots out of the line and sticks to him. Here we go again, Lloyd. Misses Stewart, goes to Louis. He's put it down. And will the Roosters have one last shot at redemption with just under 2 minutes remaining in this fixture? They'll only have one set of 6 to do it. Can they go 90 metres to level it up? A draw will be enough for the Roosters to go through. Parramatta needing to win the fixture. Could have an exciting finish on our hands here, folks. Again, this competition brought to you thanks to the sponsors SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness and Bar TV Sports. You're watching the Under-18s Laurie Daley Cup fixture between the Central Coast Roosters and the Parramatta Eels from Maury Brown Oval at Canmore as the Roosters look to bring the ball out from their own half. Yeah, there's too many in the tackle there, and that was a strip. That's a silly penalty for Parramatta when you lead by 6. Harris picks up another 20 or so metres. Finds touch on the defensive 40. Only 60 metres to go here with 90 seconds remaining. It's a good first run by Vahai, and he almost finds halfway at the hit and spin. Gets a good play of the ball. Clark now tips on to Bellis. Looks like it could be Keg King. That's been knocked down. That'll be 6 more. There's Stevenson. That'll be the zero tackle just inside the attacking half with just over 60 seconds remaining. That's Keg King. He's got a double to his name already. He'll be happy to take a hat trick and level it up. It'll be tackle 1 on the 40-metre line. Now they go to Clark. Simple football here. Goes out the back. Harris. Stevenson, he steps. Tries to slice through, but he's brought down just short of the 30. Got players starting to cramp up here. There's Verheyen again, getting in for some more work. He gets a quick play of the ball. That's a great job. Out the back, Harris. He kicks. Interesting option so early in the count. It looks like it might have been knocked on by Parramatta. But with 28 seconds left, the Roosters are going to have to rush to pack this scrum. There is a player down in back play. If the trainer alerts him to that, it may be enough to stop it. The Eels have got a couple down as well. And they managed to stop the clock with 11 seconds. They might have the best of 2 tackles at most, the Roosters players. Players down left, right and centre. Everyone's hitting the wall with 11 seconds remaining. The Roosters, they'll have a scrum feed here. Parramatta leading 22 points to 16 over the Central Coast Roosters in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture. Brought to you by SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness and the live stream providers Bar TV Sports. You couldn't ask for much of a better finish for this one. It's an elimination game. The loser will go out. Or if it is a draw, it'll be the end of the Eels season. The winner, they'll head on to semi-final football in a fortnight's time against the team on top of whoever finishes atop the Southern Pool, which at this stage looks like it'll be the Western Rams. Ball's in. It's given off. There's Harris. Gives it out the back. Stevenson. Parramatta's read that. He's going to have to be quick to play this. 3 seconds remaining. No, he's lost it. And that'll be all she wrote. The Parramatta Eels will run out winners here. 22 points to 16 over the Central Coast Roosters as the hooter goes in the background. And what a clash we've had here at Maury Brown Oval in Canmore. The Eels, they go 2 from 2 in the fixtures here today. They win this one 22-16 and will stay alive to fight another day. The Central Coast Roosters, unfortunately, that'll be all she wrote for their season. An absolute cracking encounter. Thanks everyone for tuning into this Laurie Daley Cup and Andrew Johns fixtures brought to you by SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness and of course Bar TV Sports. I've been Chris McPherson. Have a good afternoon.
Back to Central Coast and the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. They're under a 3-minute warning.